It having reached the hour of 5:30, I am calling the October 28th, 2025 Modesto City Council meeting to order and ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Wright.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez-Brayton.
Here.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Ricky.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Here.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Here. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation from Associate Pastor Yolanda Williams, Good Life Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Thank you, Lord. Father, we just thank you right now for this time. We come humbly before you, yet boldly to the throne of grace to find help in the time of need. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We pray thy kingdom come. We pray thy will be done in earth, in Modesto as it is in heaven. Father, we seek your mercy and your grace upon us during this meeting. We invite you to come in and influence our hearts and our thought processes and our decision making. We pray for every man and every woman to have open hearts and to search out your justice and your direction in every department for our city. We trust you, God, and we make a choice not to lean on our own understanding, but to humbly acknowledge you in all of our ways. And we seek your direction for the paths you have laid out for our city. We surrender to you and ask that you would lead us, that you would guide us as we move forward for the betterment of our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Right. Does the city clerk have any announcements?
Yes, Mayor. Just a reminder, public comment is 3 minutes. There are blue speaker cards at the entrance of the chambers. In addition, written public comment was received, and that was forwarded to the council.
Thank you. Do any council members have any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, will the city attorney report out on closed session?
Mayor, I'll go ahead and report out on the items except for the evaluation. No reportable action was taken. The council did consider items related to existing and anticipated litigation.
Thank you very much. Regarding the city clerk, her evaluation, the city council conducted the city clerk's annual performance evaluation. The council unanimously concluded that Ms. Nayeros Perez has continued to do an excellent job, and we look forward to continuing to work with Diane and her team. Thank you for your service. Next on the agenda is acknowledgements and presentations. Item 1 is a proclamation declaring November as Native American Heritage Month, and I will read the proclamation. Native American Heritage Month is celebrated each year in November. It is a time to celebrate the traditions, languages, and stories of Native Americans and to ensure their rich histories and contributions continue to thrive with each new generation. It is also a time to acknowledge the challenges and oppression they have faced but continue to overcome. Their enduring resilience has forged a way to a brighter future and continues to define their legacy as one that transcends the most difficult circumstances. We recognize that this land we now call Modesto was first inhabited by the Yokuts and Miwok tribes. We acknowledge and honor these members of the community who have called this land home for thousands of years. They play a critical role in the vitality of our communities, state, and nation. As business owners, artists, teachers, writers, and so much more, their contributions to our community are cause for celebration and appreciation by all. Today and every day, Modesto is proud to celebrate the Native Americans of our community and their important, valued, and endured heritage. Now, therefore, I, Suze Wallen, Mayor, do hereby proclaim November 2025 as Native American Heritage Month in the City of Modesto and urge all residents to learn about the perseverance, rich diversity, and contributions of all Native Americans in our community and throughout the nation. My understanding is that accepting the proclamation will be Jacob De La Rosa, Native American Program Specialist with the Sierra Program and Indigenous Peoples Alliance Club at the Modesto Junior College. Please approach the podium if you have some remarks to make. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and community members. My name is Jake De La Rosa, and I'm proud to serve as the Native American Program Specialist at Modesto Junior College and as a citizen of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight in honor of Native American Heritage Month, a time of recognition, reflection, and celebration for Indigenous peoples across this land. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the original stewards of this region, the Yokuts, Miwok, and other tribal nations who have called this Central Valley home since time immemorial. Their relationship with this land continues today through their descendants who live, work, and contribute to our community. A land acknowledgement is not just words. It is a commitment to remember that the story of Modesto did not begin with its founding, but with the first peoples who cared for this valley for thousands of years. Native American Heritage Month was first recognized nationally in 1990 for many of us. It's not simply a month of celebration, it's an opportunity for truth-telling and recognition and reconnection. It reminds us that Native history is not past tense. We are the relics of history, books or museum displays. Native peoples are present, active, and thriving. We are educators, artists, veterans, scientists, community leaders. We are your neighbors, your coworkers, your classmates, and your friends. At its heart, this month is about honoring resilience and continuity. Despite centuries of attempts to erase our cultures, our language, and our governance systems, Native communities have endured. We've carried forward the wisdom of our ancestors while shaping the future for our children. Here in Modesto, that spirit is alive. At Modesto Junior College, I have the privilege of working with Native students through our Native American program and as advisor of the Indigenous Peoples Alliance Club. These students represent many tribal nations from across California and beyond. They bring us languages, songs, and teachings that reconnect us to the land and to each other. Through community events, cultural presentations, and partnerships with local organizations, we are working to make Indigenous visibility part of the daily rhythm of campus life, not just 1 month a year. When our students see these themselves reflected in education and community leadership, it builds confidence and connection. It also helps non-Native students learn a more complete and honest history of this land. That understanding benefits everyone. Native American Heritage Month is just not symbolic. It's a reminder of our shared responsibility to honor these treaties and promise that still shape relations between tribal nations and the United States. To listen to Native voices in conservations about land, water, and cultural preservation, and to ensure that Indigenous perspectives are part of decisions making here in our own city. Our local government, schools, and organizations have the power to uplift Native communities by a partnership with tribal nations, supporting cultural education and recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day and Native American Heritage Month as more than just a ceremony. They can be commitments to an action. As a city, we can honor Native American Heritage Month by supporting Native-led educational and cultural programs in schools and community centers, partnering with local tribes on environmental and stewardship projects that protect the lands and waters that we depend on, including Native perspective in city initiatives, whether in the arts, parks, or public policy, and most importantly, by continuing to learn and listen. When we move from acknowledgement to action, we build a Modesto that reflects the richness of all of its people, a community grounded in respect, truth, and mutual care. In the Choctaw language, we say yokoke, thank you, but it's more than gratitude, it's recognition. Yokoke for listening, for our learning, for our standing with our Native communities, and not just in November, but throughout the year. I'll close with this reminder from the late Chief Wilma Mankiller of the Cherokee Nation, who has lots of ties to the Modesto area, who said, the secret of our success is that we never give up. That resilience lives in every Native person, every family, and every community that continues to thrive across the country today. As we honor Native American Heritage Month, may we move forward together, guided by truth, strength, and diversity, and united in our responsibility to the generations yet to come. Yakoke, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, we have a comment by Councilmember Scudia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations on recognition of a Native American history, your history. It's a rich history. It's a beautiful history. It's one based on family values. It's one based on respect. It's a history based on nature. It's a history that values culture and nature, and that's lovely. And I'm glad that these are values preserved still today. So yokoke for being here. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Culture is a beautiful thing. And the one thing that I can say to you all today is we are stronger together.
All right, any other comments from council members? Seeing none at this time, thank you very much for being here this evening, and I'll now bring the proclamation down and present it. All right, Sonia will tell us where to go and what to do. Seriously. We want to be able to see. Sure. Go. I know. Come here. Yeah. There you go. No, that always looks, you know, it never looks quite right. I don't think you want to be. This way, just a little bit so we can see the certificate. There we go. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
I wonder, item number 8, it looks like. Hold on. Me. Right. Where is it? All right. Next on the agenda is item 2, consider approving the appointment of Patrick Kavanaugh as the Culture Commission representative to the Landmark Preservation Commission for the remainder of 2025 with a term expiration of December 31st, 2025. Does council have any questions of staff? Seeing none, I'll open this up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to speak regarding item 2? Seeing none, I'll close public comments. Any comments from council members? All right, I have a resolution approving the appointment of Patrick Kavanaugh as the 2025 Culture Commission representative to the Landmark Preservation Commission with a term expiration of December 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilmember Wright, second by Councilmember Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Scutia-Brayton?
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro?
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Item 3, consider accepting the resignation of Galen Carroll from the Measure H Oversight Board. Does council have any questions of staff? Seeing none, I'll open this item up to the public. Item 3, any public comment? Seeing none, I'll close public comments. Any comments from council members? Councilmember Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank Mr. Carroll for his service. He was the District 2 rep on the Oversight Board. So, yeah, thank you for your service.
All right, council, oh, that's it. All right, I have a resolution accepting the resignation of Galen Carroll from the Measure H Oversight Board. Do I have a motion? Motion
Second.
by Councilmember Ricky, second by Councilmember Williams. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Scutia-Brayton?
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro?
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is public comment. As noted on the agenda, public comment will only be in person. Zoom will still be available for viewing and wordly translation. Thank you all for being here tonight. The City of Modesto Council meetings are a place where everyone is encouraged to listen, share views, and participate in the decision-making process that benefits our community. Your engagement is valuable, and it helps our council and city staff collaborate on finding solutions that enhance the quality of life for the residents of Modesto. To be fair and equitable, every individual has the right to speak at this council meeting. However, it is imperative that we foster and maintain a respectful environment for the well-being and safety for everyone present at these proceedings. It is the mayor's responsibility to preserve strict order and decorum at all council meetings pursuant to the Charter of the City of Modesto, Article 6, the Mayor, Section 601, Powers and Duties of Mayor. The mayor shall have authority to preserve order at all council meetings and to remove or cause the removal of any person from any meeting of the council for disorderly conduct, to enforce the rules of the council, and to determine the order of business under the rules of the council. Accordingly, the City Council meeting decorum rules are as follows. Please be respectful of all presenters, council members, staff, and members of the public. Please refrain from clapping other than following a presentation. All speakers are encouraged to state their name and city of residence. All questions must be directed to the mayor. Please do not block the view of others by holding signs up during council meetings. Time limits for public comment is 3 minutes, but may be limited at the discretion of the mayor to manage the business of the council. Speaking over others or interrupting while others have the floor is not permitted. Cell phones should be turned off or shall be set to vibrate during meetings. Thank you for your patience and participation as we work together to address the issues impacting the community. Maintaining order and decorum during the City Council meeting is crucial in the effective governance of Modesto and ensuring the council's decisions are reflective of the community's priorities. Anyone disrupting the council meeting may be asked to leave. Does anyone wish to speak on any item under public comment? This is for items not on the council agenda, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Anyone wishing to address the City Council is asked to follow the rules of decorum, which are posted at the entrance of the chambers. I will now read the speaker cards in the order that I received them. First is Teresa Gamboa.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council, city managers, city staff, and members of the public. My name is Teresa Gamboa, and I'm the chairwoman of Woodland West Community and a neighborhood watch coordinator. While looking through photos on my phone the other day, I ran across a photo of a council meeting in 2021. People were holding up big signs that read, "Support our police." Signs are no longer allowed in council meetings, but the sentiment is the same. After all, Measure H passed with 62.89% approval of all voters. People are happy with an increase of officers. Results clearly show that our city is safer and crime is down. The mask mandate was put in place for safety reasons after violence at a planned rally in 2019. In other cities, it's the people who are wearing masks that are being violent while protesting. We can't allow that to happen again in our city. For that reason, I'm asking you to keep the mask mandate in place. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Lisa Carlson.
This is my first time. I'm a little nervous.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for the time that you allow us. My name is Lisa Carlson, and I'm a resident of Modesto. I have been to many of these council meetings and listened to people come up here to the front and yell, scream, swear, and be generally disrespectful and demand that you put the mask mandate on the agenda and repeal it. They have claimed that it affects their freedom of speech, and that one baffles me. I honestly don't know what inspired the law, but when I looked it up, it was written and passed in 2019. Between 2020 and now, we have experienced the George Floyd riots, sometimes referred to as peaceful protests, COVID, smash and grab at department stores, burning of businesses, and many other shows of lawlessness. In many of these times, the one thing these people have had in common was that they were all wearing masks. Not all, excuse me. What a great way to not be identified during the act of committing a crime. Not all these crimes were committed in our community, but many of them have. COVID was the biggest enabler for criminals. They were then allowed to walk into businesses with a mask on their faces and start robbing the store. They filled up shopping carts and bags and walked right out. That practice is still happening, and it's disgraceful. From what I can see, the only reason a person would want to wear a mask during a protest is to not be identified. Why would a person not want to be identified if they weren't doing anything wrong? I know if I felt strongly about something, I would want it to be known that it was me. I would back up what I felt and feel no shame saying it. Why would a person want to wear a mask while protesting? Do they plan on causing trouble during or after the protest? Do they expect for a riot to start? And they don't want to identify? I can't figure that one out. Please do not repeal the mask mandate. Thank you.
You're welcome. Suzanne Gonzalez. I'm not sure about the last name. Belson? Bevan.
Hi. Thank you for the time. Thank you, everybody. It's been quite a week. I'm a little exhausted, so hopefully I will make sense. But I would like to speak about repealing the mask mandate. We are going deeper and deeper into a surveillance state, which people of color and marginal neighbors have had for a very long time. But now it's getting to the point where me, as a white person, I want to wear a mask during protests because there are drones that are identifying people, especially in anti-ICE protests. And so to protect myself, I want to wear a mask. And I don't understand why we're not listening to the next generation who has seen this and come to you since June requesting that you repeal this. But it is a dangerous time for protesters who are peaceful to be identified by this federal government, and we need our local government to protect us against that. So please put this on the agenda and then repeal the mask mandate. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Milt Treeweiler.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and community members. Milt Treewater, and Stanislaus County lifetime residents. The prime farmland north and west of Modesto is a natural, sustainable resource that cannot be replaced or mitigated because of its unique nature, its quality soils, its water availability, and its good climate. There is no other sustainable farmland like this in our country or on the earth. There's a major shortage of prime farmland and water in the world today. We now know that here in the San Joaquin Valley, we will need to remove almost 1 million acres of farmland south of Stanislaus County from production because there's not enough water to irrigate it. Council staff and members of the community, we have many things to be concerned about today. We have to be very careful about who we listen to and what we believe. There are people here in Stanislaus County who are scheming to destroy the future for our children and our descendants. As the mayor and council, you must be strong and do the right thing and save the sustainable farmland around your city for your children and descendants. There is an abundance of poor soils and wastelands in California and our nation for the developers to build houses on, like the Altamont Pass area, or the area east of Oakdale. There's also the large landmass area west of Patterson along Interstate 5 and east of Fairfield, all along Highway 12, all the way to Rio Vista. We also have the entire states of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado for the developers to build houses on. In our Stanislaus County cities, we must build up and not out on the city's infill areas. We have so much potential for building up and not out here in our Stanislaus County cities. Mayor and council, you must never allow the sustainable prime farmland north and west of your city of Modesto to be developed. Not in 10 years, not in 20 years, not in 50 years, not ever. Yes, I said not ever. We are adults and parents and educated people, and we must be realistic. There is no other sustainable farmland like there is in Stanislaus County in the entire world. This farmland in Stanislaus County is fully economically developed, producing food for our state and our nation. We are adults and parents, and we have an obligation to do what's right and best for our children and descendants. We must all be good stewards. How could educated and caring people be so cold-hearted and irresponsible to want to destroy the best sustainable farmland on earth? You don't get a second chance. Once you turn farmland into housing, you create a food desert. Mayor and council members and staff, you must all be committed to saving this irreplaceable, sustainable farmland for our children and descendants. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next is Derek Castle.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members, staff. Derek Castle, Park Avenue. One of the best things about living in Modesto is the wonderful trails that we have, especially Virginia Corridor and the Dry Creek Trail. I've been able to use them thousands of times, literally. Many, many hundreds of people in Modesto get to use them every week. And those trails are, as you know, what are called multi-use trails or shared use trails, where it's bicycles and pedestrians who are using them. Over the last number of years, significant change has happened on the trails, where there has been a lot more electric bikes, or otherwise called e-bikes, that have been on those trails. These can go much faster than regular bicycles. And because of those growing speeds, there's been a lot of concern in public concern about things like near misses. As some of you know, the person who probably surpasses Royal Robbins as Modesto's greatest adventurer was recently jogging on the Virginia Corridor Trail when he was hit by an e-bike at high speed, knocked unconscious, and rushed to hospital with serious injuries. By themselves, e-bikes are a great environmentally friendly innovation. We should encourage more e-bikes in Modesto. However, when they're using shared paths with pedestrians, then there can be problems. We need to figure out how to accommodate e-bikes in a way that doesn't raise the safety risks for pedestrians. And the good news is there are things that we can do. For example, most of the problems on the trails are related to bikes that are going too fast past pedestrians when they're passing them. We can do something like Oakland does and other cities and have a speed limit of 5 miles an hour for when bikes are passing pedestrians. That one action alone would reduce the number of potential serious injuries substantially. And not all electric motor type bikes are allowed on the shared use trails. Those, by state law, there's bikes that can go faster than 28 miles an hour are not allowed on those trails. And one simple thing we can do is have park rangers do spot checks every now and then to make sure the bikes that are on there are the ones that are allowed. I'd like to thank the Vice Mayor Bavaro, Council Member Ricky, the City Manager and the Director of Parks and Recreation for being open to being able to explore what changes we can make to improve the safety on our trails. I'm optimistic. I think that there's a good chance that we'll come up with some really good solutions. And so I'm looking forward to the recommendations that staff bring to you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Ramon Rodriguez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, and general public. I'm Ramon. I'm a resident of Stanislaus County from Turlock. And recently, I was taking photos on 11th and K Street when I heard a loud boom from 12th and K Street and realized there was a car accident. So I walked as fast as I can, called 911, and there was 2 cars involved. One of the drivers had minor injuries and was shaken by the airbag, but she was okay. And the thing is, everyone there, they just stopped what they're doing and they were tending aid to the drivers, which is a good thing now because nowadays people do not have that value when there is something, an accident or people that need help. So I called 911 and the security guard, I told the security guard who saw the entire thing and he thanked me for it. And the thing is, after the first responders arrived, he told me that intersection was the worst intersection in all of the city, one of the worst, because he has seen accidents since he worked as a security guard in a bank for 5 years. But anyways, the issue is that we are living in a car-centric culture. We know Modesto has American graffiti, but now since with climate change and the issue of growing populations, we have so many cars. And now the talks about having a soccer stadium and the issues with Carpenter and Sisk Road and the other intersection by the mall, we need to do something with car-centric roads and start investing more to make people use public transport, bicycles, walking, even taking Uber, Lyft, or whatever transportation you need, because we cannot sustain our mode of transportation by relying on cars. And that's all I have to say, because the more cars we have on the road, the more danger it is and the more potential accidents going to happen. And also we need to do something with the closing down of the Salvation Army shelter, because if that is closed, it'll skyrocket. There will be a lot of unhoused individuals living on the streets, and that's going to be really, really bad. In the past couple of years, you did good, but now, since they're going to shut down that shelter, you need to start telling the governor to put more funding, because when it's closed, when are people going to sleep? We need to do something before it'll get worse, and the backlash is going to keep going. Until we take action, we need to do it now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dan Vega.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Stan Vega. I was born in Modesto, and I'm still a resident. I'm here to speak about the decision to demolish the Modesto Center Plaza. The Modesto Center Plaza opened in 1988 and has served this community for 37 years. And it has never been used as a true community center. It has functioned as a convention hall. I believe it is a mistake to demolish it without first exploring the value it could offer as an open, daily civic hub for our residents. I understand the desire to revitalize downtown. We all want that. But replacing the Center Plaza with a $125 to $188 million stadium, depending on land and parking costs, is a high-risk, single-use investment in uncertain economic times. Stadiums are seasonal. Their success depends on ongoing attendance, league performance, and future market trends. If those shifts don't go our way, we'll have demolished a functioning public asset for something that may not sustain itself long-term. Meanwhile, the argument that the Center Plaza loses money deserves perspective. The current operating shortfall is about $2 million per year. At that rate, the cost of the stadium could instead operate the Center Plaza for around 90 years. Some services are worth supporting because they strengthen our community. Libraries, parks, and public safety are not profitable either, yet we all understand their value. The Center Plaza also proved its importance during the pandemic when it was used to administer vaccines to thousands of Modesto residents. It has already shown it can serve the public in critical moments. What I'm proposing is simple. Do not demolish it, instead expand its purpose. Continue hosting conventions and events, but when it is not booked, open it as a community civic center, a safe, welcoming public space downtown where young people can meet and form clubs, seniors can gather without needing to buy something, families can spend time together, local groups like Rotary, Lions, and new emerging clubs can grow, innovation, creativity, and civic life can thrive. Modesto has a rare opportunity, not to build something new, but to unlock the potential of what we already have. A stadium entertains us on certain nights. A civic center strengthens us every day. Let's choose the option that builds community, resilience, belonging, and pride. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next is Sebastian Jones, and I have a statement to read. Go ahead, please. So, Mr. Jones, before you start speaking, it is my understanding that you have requested an accommodation. We're sorry to learn that you are having difficulties communicating with us. Accordingly, after going through the accommodation process with the city, as required by law, you will be provided 5 minutes for your public comment. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, my City Council members and to the public. My name is Sebastian Jones. I am currently as a commissioner on the Stanislaus County Aging and Veterans Service Commissioner. I am also the founder and president of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Committee. I am a nonprofit organization dedicated to honor Dr. King legend. 1 minute lost, what was that? Legend. Advancing his vision and justice and equal to the community service. I recently had the privilege of attending the groundbreaking ceremony for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Park renovation project. I am commending to the city for investing into this space, for investing in this important community space I need. as part of the ongoing effort to honor Dr. King's legend, I respectfully request that the city set aside an area within the renovation part for the future statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I would like this opportunity to meet with the appropriate city staff, with the council member, Eric Alvarez from District 2, to explore how we can organize and may partner with the city to bring this project to life. In addition, once the park renovation is completed, the ribbon cutting celebration is scheduled. I would be deeply honored to be invited to participate in this ceremony. As many as you know and may recall, I led the community in an effort that results in the park naming change from Millis Park to Dr. King. In fact, I lost my space again. Bear with me, I gotta find it. I led the community effort that results in the park naming being changed from Millis Park to Dr. Martin Luther King Park. In fact, I received a personal phone call from Mayor in December of 22, sharing me the wonderful news that the state of California has awarded the city $8.5 million for the renovation, and acknowledging that this investment was connected to park. Too many leadership, the work of our community and commission, community advocating who fought for the park renaming. I'm just trying to say I fought dearly, and it's coming true. I remain fully committed to continue the Dr. King vision and assure that his legend and his vision is represented in our city. I look forward to hearing from Mayor, City Councilman Alvarez, and staff from the Park and Recreation to discuss how we can move forward together this meaningful effort. I want to thank you for your time and for your continued service to our community. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Anthony Drobnik.
Happy early Halloween, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, and to the public. It's me, your old pal, Modesto's city budget. Growing up in Modesto, life was good. Sure, I've had my ups and downs, but the city even put the word wealth in the slogan, so I really know that you all care about me. And as city leadership, you all do ask a lot of me, but I'm happy to help when the cause is right. You've got me covering museums, parks, housing, all the good things that really make a city livable and a place to be proud of. But lately, I'm a little nervous. I keep hearing about this lawsuit from the ACLU over your mask ban. And let me tell you, nothing drains me faster than legal fees for defending unconstitutional policies. I mean, sure, it's not like Modesto has anything better to spend the money on. We always spend our money responsibly, except for these lawsuits. Well, I guess there is 48% of the general fund going to police. 48% of the general fund going to policing? Oh boy. Maybe it's time to stop wasting me on preventable legal defenses and militarized police, and instead start investing in what matters. Investing in the community and investing in accountability. And when I say accountability, I'm not talking about cops investigating themselves. While you pour more of me into bloated police budget and buying armed vehicles and renewing contracts for polygraph tests that are little more than pseudoscientific nonsense, and that's not accountability. When I say accountability, I'm talking about reallocating a significant portion of that police budget to fully fund the Community Police Review Board. Give them the resources to initiate independent investigations of police misconduct, and give them a stipend for their work. It'd be much better spent on them. Plenty of other communities already do it, and unlike this council, they have the courage to take a stand on this mask ban. And so I'd much rather you spend me on them, enabling them to do their job, since you won't seem to do yours. I want to be invested in the future of Modesto, but if this council keeps bleeding me dry through bad decisions, soon there won't be enough of me left for the people who live here. You have a fiduciary duty to make sound financial decisions for the people of this community. Because in case you forgot, I, the City of Modesto's budget, belong to the people. I am not yours to waste on egoism and frivolous, losing lawsuits. There's not enough money in the world to buy you all spines. So please grow some and do your job, agendize, discuss, and repeal Municipal Code 4203. Because here's the thing about budgets. How you spend your money is a reflection of your priorities. Right now, you have the opportunity to prioritize the public, but meeting after meeting after meeting, you fail to do your job, and the city cannot afford such feckless leadership. Repeal the mask ordinance. Thank you.
Next is Sarah Bland. Sarah? Okay.
Do you have the wireless?
Welcome.
Thank you. Well, good evening, Mayor and City Council members and everyone that's within these walls. I got a question for you. Do you believe in the Martin Luther King's dream? Well, I have Sebastian's here, and that man has a dream too, for all of everyone here, just like Dr. King did. Oh, and let me just say, I've been going around the town, and I noticed a lot of improvements. I think the last time I was here, I was talking about the park, and I was saying, why can't the park on the west side have better equipment, just like the ones on the north and east and west, northeast and the other side of Modesto. I'm trying to get it out. I'm a little nervous, but as I was saying, Sebastian has dreams just like Dr. Martin Luther King had, and one of them was to rename that Mellis Park to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And just by him doing that or getting it done with the help of you all, that brought $8.5 million into Modesto. And now I see, today I was over there and I seen that Mel's Park is getting reconstructed. And I was like, woohoo, that's a good thing, So my words didn't go just like you guys didn't overlook it, like you guys overlook a lot of other things. That was actually you guys paying attention to us. And from what I hear, some of the other speakers that have been up here, you guys are paying attention and getting some things done, and I commend you for that. And there was a time when Mr. Jones here was talking about that boots on the ground all the time, and I tell you, that just got on my nerves because all I would hear was boots on the ground, and it was like it was just coming from him. But he fought a lot, and from what I see, those of you that know him know that he's not a quitter. He's very persistent in what he does. He won't give up until he gets what he wants. And Mayor, I think you know that he'll keep on being, keep going. You know, he just won't give up. And Mr. Williams, you know that to be true too. So what I really would like to say is thank you for you guys paying attention. And I'm sorry I'm over my time.
That's all right. You're welcome.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Next is Lucas S.
Hello, Council and the public. I'm Lucas. I'm a member of Modesto. As you may know, I do a lot of research. I do research on a wide variety of things, including improving our city and using budget dollars wisely. But I have another concern, policing. I've looked through the news this week, took a few moments, took some names out of it, and I'm devastated that we lost 4 of our nice officers on our streets. Not necessarily Modesto, but in California as a whole. I would like to honor our brave police officers who have recently passed in the line of duty. Areas and officers include Officer Lauren Craven of La Mesa, who was on a call for service when she was tragically passed away. Chowchilla police officer also passed away in a similar incident, a crash. A Lake County deputy sheriff who passed away while responding to a call for assistance, as with 2 others, and among the last to include a Fontana County deputy sheriff, Andrew Nunez. That's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, and Mayor, can we do, in honor of those who passed away, can we do a minute of silence?
Sure.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Lucas.
You're welcome.
Next is Brian.
Hey, all. Some bona fides for, I guess, what I say next. So my name's Brian, been in Modesto, first-time caller here. I am a behavioral threat assessment and management consultant. Before that, I studied extremist violence. Before that, I was over at the 1st and 8th largest social media companies creating security intelligence programs. Before that, I was doing military intelligence, where I got to ride in one of those really cool $500,000 Bearcats, usually meant for like roadside bombs and 50 cal bullets. But if that's what we're concerned about and spending money on, I have some concerns. But okay, that's the society we live in because we have a Second Amendment. We also have the First Amendment, where we have the freedom of speech, freedom to assembly, and freedom for association. I'm no lawyer. So I'll let the ACLU wipe the floor with y'all if you want to take it that route. What I just want to say, when I've gone through that with bona fides, is that a face covering is not a violent act. It is not a causal form or causal action towards a violent act. I can give you just as much data that would say underwear has a correlation to violent acts. So why this group sits there and does nothing while the people who have elected you to lead and make decisions do nothing? A little while ago today, Chris, you asked me, what is a fire lane for? If you need help with that, your city attorney's to your right. You said how quickly you would dispose of that so you could get seating in an alleyway. Why so quick to do that, but not turn away or turn down and get rid of the mask ban? Have some courage. Have some integrity. Look to the people whom you serve. Remember that things that are uncomfortable are okay. Remember that a First Amendment act may make you uncomfortable, and yes, has been associated with crimes, but is not a cause of crime, nor any information or study that says it is a means of crime. Take the time, stop, take a big deep breath. You have 1 week until the ACL gets at you. I'm fine with that. Or you can take a moment, have some courage, and turn down the mask ban. Thanks.
You're welcome. Next is Ryan Hall. Hi there.
Good evening. There were a few questions asked by another member of the public earlier today. While I don't believe these questions were asked in good faith, I will answer them in good faith. Firstly, why would a person not want to be identified if they aren't doing anything wrong? I'm the Director of Communications at Cal Pride, an LGBTQ+ serving organization. I'm proud to be an LGBTQ+ person. I want everyone to know it. However, if another individual wants to attend a protest advocating for, say, the rights of an LGBTQ community, if they want to attend even a pride parade, they may want to hide their identity to protect themselves from discrimination in their personal and professional lives. If a transitional shelter, if a landlord, a parent, employer, or community member identifies that individual as LGBTQ+, they are at risk of losing their livelihoods or their lives. Secondly, why would a person want to wear a mask when protesting? My boss is HIV positive. He is immunocompromised. My sibling has Hashimoto's disease. They are immunocompromised. Someone you know, someone you love, someone you work for is immunocompromised. Compromised immunity is just one reason why one would wear a mask. It's not to commit crime. It is to prevent ourselves or our loved ones from getting sick. And everyone, including those who are or love someone who is immunocompromised, has the right to attend a protest. Protecting your safety during a protest is not a crime. The effort to repeal this ordinance is not pro-crime either. Repealing the mask ordinance will not result in increased crime because there is already Penal Code 185, a code in place that makes it illegal to wear a mask while committing a crime. This effort to repeal the ordinance is because this ordinance directly threatens our First Amendment right to protest. The ACLU has threatened litigation against the City of Modesto, and that threat stands because you have failed to agendize this ordinance for public discussion. The following lawsuit will cost the city and its taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't want my taxpayer dollars going towards enforcing and defending an unworkable, redundant, and unconstitutional ordinance that will die in a courtroom. I want my taxpayer dollars to go towards genuine efforts to protect my community. I want my city to feed my neighbors who are actively losing their SNAP benefits. I want my city to actually fund bodies like the Community Police Review Board so they can at least show up for the community they desperately want to serve. I want my city to step in when other systems are failing. That's what I want my city to do with my taxes. It's also freezing in here.
Next is Anne Marie. Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Mayor. It's good to be back yet once again. And I'm once again asking you to put Municipal Code 4.23-02, subsection 13, on the City Council agenda and repeal not only the mask subsection 13, but the whole Municipal Code. It has been proven unconstitutional by multiple human rights lawyers, including the ACLU. We've been here, we've reiterated this over and over again. You know this. Concealing one's identity is a First Amendment right as a form of self-expression. Penal Code 185 already exists, which criminalizes wearing a mask when committing a crime. Recently in Modesto, someone attempted to break into someone's home while wearing a mask, and MPD was called and they did nothing, saying, well, we can't prove it. He was just wearing a mask. We can't prove that he was committing a crime, which I think is incredibly ironic. And for the medical and religious exemptions, not everyone can afford a medical mask, has access to one. What constitutes a religious covering? What constitutes a medical mask? It's impossible to enforce this, and it encourages eugenics as COVID-19 continues to spread to this day, and people continue to get long COVID and get sick and chronically ill. A lawsuit would be expensive, a waste of taxpayer money, but it seems we may have no choice if you do not act expediently. And we see City Council has consistently sided with the police and affluent citizens that respectfully have probably never experienced police violence before. There has been police violence in the city. It's been documented. People have died at the hands of MPD. So much money has gone into MPD in spite of this. Over $100 million, if I'm correct in this, in the last annual budget, over $500K to an armored vehicle passed only a few months ago. I just want to reiterate that we will not stop. We will keep coming back and asking you to repeal the code. And if not, then we will have no choice but to work with the ACLU and file a lawsuit, which we don't want to do. We don't want to waste taxpayer dollars. It would be expensive. It would be a waste of time and money when there are already so many people that are in need of social services that are not being funded. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Next is Julissa.
Hello. I know that someone mentioned it's close to Halloween, but it's also close to the Day of the Dead, a tradition that our people have practiced for more than 2,000 years. And in the spirit of Dia de los Muertos, I want to mention some victims that have been killed by Modesto police. Starting with Alberto Sepulveda, who was killed by Officer Don, Modesto Police and SWAT. He was 11 years old. He was killed on September 13, 2000. Sammy Galvan, age 22. He was killed by Modesto police officers Lyndon Yates and Merle Morse in 2004. Richard Robles, age 34. He was killed by Modesto police officer Letitia Leap in 2009. Manuel Dantetent, age 27, killed by Modesto police in 2009. Alton Warren Ham, age 45, killed by Modesto police in 2009. Francisco Moran, age 45, killed by police officer Joseph La Mancha and Robert Laxton. As we know, La Mancha has killed like 5 other people. Omar Villagomez, age 21, killed by Modesto police officer Joseph La Mancha and Sergeant Alex Bettis. Garrett Schmidt, also killed by Officer La Mancha from APD in 2016. Kim Jackson, age 52, killed by Modesto Police Sergeant Alex Bettis and officers Michael Callahan and Joseph La Mancha again. Trevor Seaver, killed during a wellness check in 2020, killed by Modesto Police Officer Joseph La Mancha. Paul Chavez, killed by Modesto police officer Sam Muncie. And as we know, his widow also passed away recently. And these are just some of the names of the list that we were able to accumulate, trying to find pictures of them. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why the police budget is half of the Modesto budget. And y'all continue to listen to them. When the PRA requests showed that MPD targeted the city BIPOC protest before we even had the event. I mean, there's nothing else that we can tell y'all, because y'all already know the mask ordinance is not constitutional.
Leah Haskett.
Hi, thanks for being here. My name is Leah Hassett. I live in Modesto. I've lived here for over 25 years. I'm here to demand the full repeal of Modesto Municipal Code 4.23.02 and for the immediate dismissal of all charges against those arrested on June 14th. And also want to ask for my city government to look at what protests are with an open mind, maybe reframe the way you look at it. You know, I don't think that, you know, there's this saying, power doesn't concede anything without a demand, or I'm probably not saying it right. But as you probably know, all the things that all the freedoms we have, and you know, all the good things in our life, it comes from struggle. It doesn't come because somebody wants to just bestow it on people. So that's the way I see it. And people that spend their time going outside and asking for a different world, or for a better city, or for human rights, or for the right to live, or for the right for other people to live, even those across the world. People that care about that are not the people that you should be spending money and time defending yourselves against. It breaks my heart that that is not more readily embraced as a point of view. And I really, really encourage you to look at the people that do that. And we all do it in our ways, it's in our different ways. It's not everybody going to a demonstration, but do consider the people that go to a demonstration with passion and empathy and give their free time for that. Just please consider what that means and who those people are, and if you really need to be spending time defending against that group. And you know, community members, we're all community members. Please look at it that way. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now, but I just feel like you're looking in the wrong spot for people to harden the environment against, or for people to surveil. It's not people that are trying to make the world a better place. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else wishing to come forward to speak under public comment?
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Vasquez Marin. I'm a Modesto resident. I was born and raised here. This is regarding the June 14th protests and the mask ordinance. The fact that more than 4 months have passed and you have not placed the matter on the agenda is shameful and appalling to me. Mayor, council members, you are letting the clock run out on justice. Literally, there's a pending lawsuit against the city of Modesto. You are giving Modesto residents the impression that when serious questions of police misconduct and rights of protesters arise in the city, you will simply wait indefinitely. As Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stated, justice too long delayed is justice denied. And I would add that delaying justice, as you all have done, is an injustice to the people of Modesto. You carry the authority and the responsibility to act. You were informed by the Modesto Community Police Review Board recommendation. You were urged by advocacy from civil rights organizations, and have heard countless public comments made about this issue. Yet you have let this matter lie dormant. You are letting the essential right of public accountability go unfulfilled. As Frederick Douglass said, when those who benefit from freedom and rights, as you all do, stand silent in the face of injustice, they become a part of that injustice. You all have the power to help stop this pattern of oppressive policing in our city, in my city. And what do? Nothing. By your inaction, you are allowing a legacy of suppression. You are allowing the very systems of power that silence minority voices, that suppress protesters, to continue. I demand you place this issue, the June 14th arrest, the ordinance, and the review board's findings on the next agenda as a formal item. You must commit tonight to a timeline for action. You must show the city that you are willing to uphold your oath to protect our constitutional rights. Too long have you delayed. The residents of Modesto deserve better. May God have mercy on you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Laricana. I'm a concerned community member and resident of Modesto, and I'm once again asking City Manager Joe Lopez and the City Council to move forward with adding the unconstitutional mask ordinance to the agenda on November 4th for a vote by this council to repeal it immediately. It's incredibly frustrating to come here time and time again since the summer in order to repeatedly advocate for this government to act on what you should already know and defend, our community's First Amendment rights. Contrary to what a deeply misguided community member said at the last city council meeting, anonymous speech is protected as part of the Constitution. Just because some people don't know their rights does not mean their ignorance should define how our freedom of speech is exercised. Anonymous speech is critical because not everyone in our community has the same privileges, protections, access to power and resources. Affluent white people who get to be humanized by the police while being complicit in the inequities in their community should not get to decide what is public safety for everyone else, especially when marginalized people are being further brutalized and repressed by police and federal agents for speaking out against the violence we are witnessing as our immigrant neighbors fear for their lives and being ripped away from their families. We wear masks because we refuse to be surveilled and harassed by police for peacefully protesting and exercising our inalienable rights. We wear masks to keep ourselves safe from state violence and right-wing vigilante violence. We have our voices, our numbers, our solidarity, and our courage. That is people power. The police get money for weapons to attack us, legal cover to lie to us, and control the narrative of what safety is or isn't, and little to no accountability for their misconduct and brutality. That is authoritarian power. This is why the mask ordinance is an issue of equity and justice and needs to be done away with entirely. It does not keep people safe. It only endangers our freedom of speech. The claims of public safety associated with this ordinance are simply excuses for repression, profiling, and discrimination. As has been mentioned, there is already a California state law, Penal Code 185, that prohibits people from masking while committing a crime. Making the wearing of a mask while engaging in lawful activity the crime is unconstitutional and just plain wrong. It contributes to a chilling atmosphere in which people cannot safely exercise their freedom of speech, and it breeds authoritarian conditions for further police and government overreach. You are running out of time. You have just 1 week left to agendize Modesto Municipal Code 4-23.02 subsection 18 before the ACLU decides to take action and compels this government to do right by its community. You can still make the right choice. Don't waste hundreds of thousands of our taxpayer dollars to die on the hill of being wrong. Repeal the mask ordinance. Thank you.
Welcome. Next. Hi there.
Hi, good evening. My name is Nora. I'm a resident of Modesto District 2, and I am here, like many others, to ask you add the ordinance banning masks during protests to the next City Council meeting agenda, and to urge you to take action before the city faces an unnecessary and costly lawsuit. I will make my comments softly, lest a member of the audience convinces you to disregard them for being too angry. The council has been presented with first-hand accounts of how MPD used this municipal code to target people of color and to silence marginalized voices, making it clear why people would need to protect their identity while exercising their First Amendment rights. You have been warned by the ACLU of the code's unconstitutionality. You have received a recommendation to amend the code by the Modesto CPRB, something that some of you insisted was the step required to put the matter on the agenda. Now that the community and advocacy groups have run out of options to make you see reason, the only next step is for the city to waste taxpayer money on a lawsuit that could have been prevented had this flawed code been corrected in the first place. Those resources could have been better spent, and our time could have been better spent. Public comment has overwhelmingly been about the mask mandate for months now, and while I'm sure you are all tired of hearing it, I, for one, am tired of having to repeat it. We could be focusing on helping people who need city services. We could be focusing on helping groups that advocate for the unhoused community. Every day I witness how difficult it is to find medical care in Modesto. We could be fully focusing on providing support for doctors and medical providers who want to make a fair living wage while giving the care to Modesto citizens. Instead, we are here talking about the mask ordinance again, and it's not our fault for being persistent. It's yours for refusing to even address it publicly. I've been coming to these meetings for quite a while as well, and I've never seen anything but a unanimous vote on any issue. Are you so afraid of public discourse? Are you so afraid that your next re-election will be impacted by voting on a controversial topic? Or do you want to wash your hands of the responsibility of voting for or against something like the mask ordinance, so much so that you would pass it along to a court ruling, and waste taxpayer money? There is no winning for any of us if you do not add this to the next agenda. The city faces a lawsuit and we all pay for it. There is no winning if during that vote you do not repeal the mask ordinance. The ordinance is still unconstitutional. The city would still be in violation of people's constitutional rights, and there would still be a legal case against it. The only way that we all win is if you put the issue on the agenda and correct the code, and I look forward to not having to say that again.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. I will not be as articulate as everybody else has been, so bear with me. But I'm here to talk about the mask mandate, and hopefully it is repealed. The most common definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And I, for one, feel like I am going insane. I, myself and others have been coming here over and over and over demanding the mask mandate be repealed, or at the very least be put on the City Council agenda so the Modesto PD and other law enforcement cannot weaponize it, but repeatedly we have failed to see any progress in that. As a previous speaker has noted, it seems some have interest in repealing it, or at least putting it on the agenda. If these words are stated in private but not put into action, one seems to ask, who benefits from that? Who do these actions serve if they are empty gestures? The lowest common denominator leads one to believe that it is the police. If the city council is unwilling or afraid to hold the police accountable besides weak bureaucratic review boards with no real power meant to siphon and drown out citizens' anger and motivation with token gestures, what is really to be done? We see evidence of this by recent measures being spent on more military-grade hardware meant to repress their own citizens, and even more agenda moving forward on this as well. Another previous speaker has already mentioned ways to improve the city. And all of these fundings are going to further policing, instead on things that can actually improve the city and reduce criming without arming people against their own citizens. Furthermore, a recent study has shown that ICE and police use cameras around cities, not just in Modesto, but across the country, to specifically target people of Latin American descent around specifically hardware stores such as Home Depot, Lowe's, and Ace. I myself have used that website to look to see where these cameras are, and I have, lo and behold, discovered 2 of these are pointed at Home Depot as well. Will these cameras be aimed at certain people? One seems to believe yes. And this is the trend followed not only nationwide, but in Modesto as well. I personally wonder if some kind of facial protection might help with that. Or is there another excuse the city council might bring up, or as usual feign ignorance and throw these measures down bureaucratic means that will offer no real results? Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi there.
Hello, my name is Allison Anderson Carrite Cisneros, raised in Modesto, Agnes Baptist, Prescott, Senior Elementary, Modesto High graduate of the International Baccalaureate program. I've been away for a while, but I've come back to my hometown. This is my first time at a city council meeting, so thank you for having me. I also am not as articulate or likely as coherent after a long day as previous speakers. But what I can know is that in my experience of corporate security, intelligence, and emergency management, when more resources are not put towards mitigation, but are instead placed on a response, and particularly a particular kind of response, one that is either inherently violent or one that emboldens it by either being single use or by being inflexible in where the money is going to go through budget protocols. It's something that makes everything so much harder. When mitigation comes into the equation and when mitigation is used as a foresight and as a long-term strategic tool, that is when the response needed, that is when the inherent violence within protester police incidents of when they like I said, it's been a long day. When mitigation is left out and all that's left is response, it becomes inflexible. It is when recovery recommendations come in by very well-paid consultants that hint at different recommendations, or they regurgitate the same thing because it means they can collect more fees the next time. By mitigation, I am talking about putting the money into community works. I am talking about after-school programs. I am talking about the arts, music. I am talking about bringing back carpentry classes. I am talking about making certain that we see each other as community members, because that is what we are. When we only place things in the preparation or the response categories of looking at a problem, we do ourselves a disservice. We say that this is only one way that we can be, and instead we know from time and time again that when we come together and we come together with a strategy that includes everybody, that includes people who have been left out, it means that we can create a new table, because no one should have to fight for a seat at the table that was not built for them. Instead, I ask this council to please put it on the agenda to repeal this unconstitutional mask ban. Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
Good evening, City Council. I am a local business owner of sorts, and I felt called to come down here and voice my opinion. Myself and all of my business owner friends have been hearing chatter about some mask ordinance that protesters are upset about. Given that the most supreme, all-knowing, educated, compassionate, and involved community members are the business owners, I feel that you may want to hear my opinion. I know it's a little out of sorts for me, for my type, to come down here in person rather than call one of you up on your personal cells to have a casual chat, but I thought, hey, why not mix it up? It's been so long since I, a very successful business owner, has had to come down here in these chambers to communicate with you all. That was one of the perks of starting my business, direct line to the cops and city officials. That's how you know this was a big deal. I had to get down here in person despite how much busier I am than all of these 9-to-5 folks. I'm going to veer off the beaten path and say that I stand with the community members who want to protest without fear of arrests despite not having engaged in any criminal activity. I stand with community members who don't want criminality to be defined by the suspicion of committing a crime. I stand with community members who want to make the decision for themselves as to whether or not they want to share their identity. While participating in their First Amendment right to protest against their government. Again, remember, I'm saying this as a business owner. I started to put myself in some of these situations. I imagine a scenario where ICE had made their way into our city of Modesto to terrorize vulnerable residents. I imagine myself in the position of someone with an undocumented mother or father, perhaps. I felt the fear, the sadness, the terror, the unknowing of what could come next. I imagine myself as that resident wanting to go out to join a local protest against ICE to add to the numbers and show my disagreement with their regime, my First Amendment right. I thought about what factors I would have to take into consideration in order to participate in a protest against an untethered law enforcement agency that could retaliate against me by coming after my undocumented family members. I thought about how I would need to choose between choosing to wear a mask to conceal my identity and risking arrest as a result, or simply sitting out the protest in order to keep my family safe. I, as a business owner, contemplate what it means for us as a city if residents are choosing between exercising their First Amendment right or staying home in order to keep themselves and their families safe. Let's take ICE off the table. Let's think about what it means to criminalize the peaceful protest. It kind of dilutes what violence at a protest actually looks like, doesn't it? When we tell ourselves that a bad protester is someone who brings to a protest usually considered neutral items, umbrellas, flag poles, metal water bottles, masks that are worn for a variety of reasons, we criminalize innocent and well-meaning residents and make it harder for folks to just simply show up with the intention of chanting and marching. The lack of a mask ordinance cannot and will not prevent violence. It will only divide our community. I say to you, please add this to the agenda. Don't waste my tax dollars. And I will see you guys at the next Rotary meeting. I'm going to bring deviled eggs. Good night.
All righty. Anyone else under public comment?
Hello, everyone. My name's Galen. I'm a resident of Ceres, and I apologize for being late. I logged on to the website and then saw the council meeting going on, so I drove down here and was pretty late. But the reason I wanted to speak today to you guys is because this past Saturday, October 25th, was the National DEA Take Back Day for, if you have expired or unused medication, we don't want that to go like down the drain or down the toilet or in the hands of someone that might be foraging through garbage. So it's a great event, but I was kind of disappointed when I came down here to the police department and the automatic doors were closed. And I'm like, I know this is taking place because it's on the DEA government website, and it specifically stated 2 locations, one being the sheriff's off of Crow's Landing Road, or the MPD department. So I drove down here, and like I stated, there was no flyers, no signs advertising this big event, which is, I'm a nurse practitioner. So to me, this is really important because this is a safeguard for the public and also the environment. And I had to call the non-emergency number in order for someone to open the doors. Now, this was the first time me coming to the police department, and it clearly stated Monday through Friday hours. Now, this is Saturday. I was like, okay, maybe it's not taking place after all. So I called the non-emergency number and spoke to the dispatcher, waited 15 minutes outside I sat on the sidewalk, and I kid you not, was on hold. And then she told me that there's someone there. So I was like, are you sure? Because I just, walked around 2, 3, 5 minutes. No one was there. So I go back, and the doors are still locked. And I'm like, do I have to ring the doorbell to get in? So luckily someone came forward to open the doors. But I was further disappointed by the fact that there was no containers that had, the only containers that were visible were cardboard bins with plastic bags that anyone could get a hold of. It's not very secure. I think there should be like the post office bins where you could only drop off and you can't take out, Listening to everyone here, the community members and stuff, I don't trust the police department. Being that they have this track record, and also I don't think they're anyways, I think these events should be held quarterly, like I told the police officer, and he wasn't wearing any gloves, so I don't know. So I'm just disappointed.
Thank you. Anyone else under public comment?
Hello, I'm one of the local rats for one of the local businessmen. I don't really have anything prepared. Been coming to these meetings for 4 months now, and it seems like you guys don't really care what we say, so just felt like I would say that, but I've heard that, the government is supposed to be like the people's house, like we elect you guys are supposed to represent us, so I'm just going to treat it like doing a dance for my family when I have a sleepover. So I'm just going to do a little stanky leg. We've been wasting our time for a few months, so this is for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of my system. I've been feeling really passionate about that. So.
All right. Any other public comment at this time? All right. Next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? I have one request to pull item 8. Will the city clerk please read the consent items?
Yes, Mayor. Item 4, consider approving the minutes for the October 14th, 2025 council meeting. Item 5, consider adopting the bylaws for the Measure H Oversight Board. Item 6, consider approving the Second Amendment to the agreement with Home Base San Francisco, California to continue consultant services to support local homeless programs for an additional $150,000 for a revised total agreement amount not to exceed $245,000. Item 7, consider approving the agreement with Honeywell International Incorporated, DBS, U.S. Digital Designs by Honeywell, Tempe, Arizona, for software maintenance and hardware repair services for the Phoenix G2 Fire Station Alerting System. Total amount not to exceed $359,662 over 5 years. Item 8 was removed from consent. Item 9, consider approving the acceptance of a grant sub-award in the amount of $475,070 plus 50 cents for the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Program through the California Office of Emergency Services for the Flood Risk Reduction Feasibility Study.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as read?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Scudia-Brayton, seconded by Vice Mayor Bavaro. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwallen.
Aye, carries unanimously. Next, we will go back to item 8. Consider approving a purchasing agreement for the purchase of equipment and vehicle parts with NFI Parts, the Aftermarket Parts Company, LLC, Louisville, Kentucky, for a total amount not to exceed $1,175,300 over 5 years. And we will have a staff report regarding item 8.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Patrick Crowley, Senior Public Works Manager. So this item before us is for moving from a blanket purchase order to an agreement for specific parts that are basically for the Stanislaus Regional Transit Authority. These are parts that are used to repair and replace damaged issues on our about 150 buses throughout the region. The City of Modesto is under a contract agreement with Stan RTA to maintain and repair the buses. So part of this agreement is this is an OEM distributor that we can't buy these parts from any place else besides NFI aftermarket parts. So they're exclusive to only that. I apologize for the 1,000 pages of parts that are on that. And this is 100% reimbursable to the city from the STAN RTA. So it's a net zero for the city. Previously, due to cost expansion of these parts, costs keep going up. We perform this service by doing individual the blanket purchase order, but that has a financial limitation on it. And every time we exceeded that, and now we're moving to parts that exceed that limit all the time. Every time that we exceeded it, staff had to do exemptions underneath the municipal code, which required more staff, delayed the repairs, which impacted the community for repairing the buses. So with that, the recommendation from staff is to approve this agreement moving forward for these OEM parts that are exclusive to repairing the buses.
All right, thank you very much. Does council have any questions? Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you tell us again the funding source?
The city purchased the parts when we repair the buses, but then we invoice back to STAN RTA on a monthly basis, and STAN RTA reimburses the city for labor and parts on any repairs.
I just wanted to confirm that. So it's net zero to us.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions from council members? Seeing none, I'll open this up to the public, and I have a blue card from Nick. Welcome.
I'll keep it brief. Thank you for the clarification. That's all I wanted to know. It was very helpful. I'm a big fan of the public transportation here. It's actually very, I would say, very well, and I appreciate the funding and the upkeep that they do. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Any other members of the public that would like to speak on consent item 8? Welcome.
Similar to the previous speaker, great idea. The fact that it's net zero for the city, that's awesome. Makes my budget happy. Despite my earlier fiery rhetoric, y'all all doing a great job in a lot of domains, and this is one of them, so keep it up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other members of the public on this item?
Hi again. Yeah, I just want to say I approve of this. I love public transit. I'm really passionate about it. I love buses. I love trains. So any amount of money going to our public transit is a net positive. So yeah, I approve. Cool.
Thank you. Anyone else regarding item 8? Seeing none, I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? Seeing none at this time, I have a resolution approving a purchasing agreement for the purchase of equipment and vehicle parts with NFI Parts, Louisville, Kentucky, for a 2-year agreement with 3 one-year extension options for an annual estimated amount of $235,060 and a total amount not to exceed $1,175,300 over 5 years, and authorizing the Director of Finance or her designee to execute the agreement. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Wright, seconded by Vice Mayor Bavaro. And will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye, carries unanimously. Thank you. Next on the agenda is council comments and reports. Do we have any reports? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll make this as expedient as possible. It was great to be at the groundbreaking at the MLK Park on October the 16th. That's a great feat for the city of Modesto as well as the community in that area. Also, October the 18th was an annual Kids Park Day. It was there for the Awesome Spot. They were raising money. They are still raising money for Awesome Spot at the Byer Park. So if you want to participate in that, please go online. 25-year anniversary for Valley BMW. That's a great feat for them. That's a great family that does so much. The Fitzpatrick family that does so much for our community. We appreciate them. DEV Fest was Saturday, put on by some local individuals. There were people from all over California. It was an AI and technology event that you can learn so much about the technology and then also AI. Veterans Day is coming up November the 11th. It will be a parade downtown Modesto. Thank you to the City of Modesto and Stanislaus County and other sponsors, but it will be November the 11th, which is Tuesday, starting at 9 o'clock, going down I Street, ending up into the Gallo Center. At the Gallo Center will be a ceremony. It is celebrating the 80th anniversary of World War II. South Modesto Business United, we had a dinner just the other night. 3 of my colleagues were with me, as colleague Eric Alvarez, Councilmember Alvarez, and Councilwoman Scudia Brayton. It was a great time. Saturday, we had a great time at the Stanislaus Asian American Community Resources, who does scholarship funds for Asian individuals in our community, which was Saturday, and I was accompanied by our Councilmember Wright. And that's it for now. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I want to echo the sentiments of the public about their concerns about e-bikes on trails. Recently, there was a serious injury on the Virginia Trail as a result of an e-bike being ridden unsafely. This has gone on long enough, and it's time to put some regulations in place that would set a speed limit and reduce passing speeds on our trails. We need to make our trails, which are one of our community's favorite places to walk, bike, skate, and exercise, safe for everybody. SALSA, which is the Stanislaus Animal Services, is working on a strategic plan that will guide how they manage the animal shelter for the next 5 to 10 years. If you want our animal shelter to do more than simply take in animals from animal control, this is a chance for you to demand change. If you want an animal shelter that has an active program to manage feral cats, you need to speak up. If you want a robust spay and neuter program, it's time to let SASA know. If you don't want animal services to adopt a capacity of care strategy, you need to tell them. If you think the county should have a robust vaccination program, they need to be reminded. If you think customer service matters, like answering phones, or that you should be able to access services without impossibly limited appointments, it's time to tell them we've had enough. Animal Services spent years reducing services and telling us what they can't do. This county has always done more with less, and I hope that they're ready to listen. And finally, the all-new Martin Luther King Park construction just started, and it's going to feature a gym and an outdoor event center for basketball and concerts and food trucks and more. And I just want to thank our Parks Department for getting that grant that helped us make this happen. And this west side is rising, and I'm just really excited about the future. Thanks, Mayor.
Councilmember Scudia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. I recently attended a meeting on behalf of the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, and I wanted to highlight a little bit of it. I felt it was a very valuable meeting. The San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control Board District is also referred to as Valley Air District. Just to mention just the 3 things they're known for, just to put it in perspective if you hadn't heard about it before. It is a regional agency responsible for air quality in 8 counties. Stanislaus County is one of the 8 counties that make up a 15-member board of that agency. The agency regulates air emissions from stationary sources, that being factories, farm refineries, that type of stuff. They seek to reduce smog and particle pollution in the valley, and they've made many inroads in that regard. The agency administers permitting and enforcement, such as issuing permits, inspecting facilities, all for the purposes of improving air quality standards. And again, it administers public health and incentive programs. The district funds and manages clean air grants and incentive programs. We have distributed over $7 billion since its inception for a variety of programs and services that, again, contribute towards improving air quality. Why do you think this is important? Because we live in a valley, and living in the valley really presents unparalleled air quality challenges. We're doing really well, but we still have so much more to do. Specifically at the board meeting, it was referred to as an annual study session. We met with state and federal officials that all had the same goal of helping us to improve air quality in the valley. We discussed wildfire preventions, response air strategies for wildfire preventions. We discussed current and emerging alternative fueling initiatives. We discussed challenges and opportunities with ag land transitions in air quality. We talked about healthy air living schools and youth outreach programs. We discussed the challenges of air quality and successes that we've achieved here at the Valley. Just to highlight just 3 of those successes, the Air Valley Board has, and by working with its private sector and public sector partners, we have achieved a 90% reduction in smog-forming emissions since the year 2000, leading to significant improvements in summertime air quality. It really has improved significantly. 2, we've replaced tens of thousands of old diesel tractors and engines. This in itself has significantly contributed to improved air quality. And the third point I just wanted to highlight was the Valley Air District has achieved the largest drop of fine particle matters, that's PM 2.5. That's the air pollution that is teeny tiny, and it gets into your lungs. It's less than a point of a hair follicle. It's thousands of those can fit in a tiny little hair follicle, and those little emissions go into your lungs. So it's quite horrible to particular elderly and children. And again, the Valley Air District has achieved just top records in improving air quality in those areas. Are we where we need to be? No. Do we still have challenges before us? Yes. But we're working every day really, really hard to work with our state and federal officials and bringing funding to the Valley and addressing these issues in collaboration with our community partners. So thank you for listening. Oh, if you have any more questions on that, feel free to go to the Air Board website, and that's valleyair.org, or feel free to contact me. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank my colleagues for highlighting all the great work that's going on in District 2. I know the districts are a little boring, not much going on in any of them. I kid, but thank you, Jeremiah, for commenting on the park groundbreaking for both Cesar Chavez is already taking place, and then Martin Luther King just recently took place as well. We received about a little close to $20 million in state funds to renovate both those respective parks, which will be transformative renovations for the entire West Side community. At those parks, inside the facilities, we'll see a variety of programming, computer labs, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, art, sports, healthy relationship building with youth and local professionals from Modesto City Schools. I had a talk with Homero Mejia, Modesto City School Board member, on communicating the importance of having volunteers from the school district and volunteers from families across not only the West Side community, but the city at large. And also I want to thank, I want to switch gears a little bit here and highlight an event that we went to. My colleague Jeremiah Williams and Rosa Escudio Brayton. We attended the South Modesto Business United 14th Annual Awards Gala, and there were about 4 awards that were given out. So Member of the Year, and then a Legacy Award, and then Amiga of the Year, and then Business of the Year. So the Amiga of the Year, or Amigo of the Year, went to Save Mart Supermarkets. Business of the Year went to Familia Farmacia, which is a pharmacy on the Crow's Landing corridor. The Legacy Award went to Sandro Luna, a member of the South Modesto Business United and local business owner. And then Member of the Year went to Health Plan of San Joaquin. So shout out to all of those folks receiving awards and all the folks who volunteered to set that awards dinner up. Lastly, I want to talk about blight abatement and give a big thank you to our city staff and community partners, the Solid Waste Division, Parks and Rec, Neighborhood Department, Modesto Police Department, the Fire Department, Department of Fish and Wildlife, Natural Resources Volunteer Program, Operation 9299, Chris Guptill and his team, and all the volunteers there, and then Dry Creek Trails Coalition. Last month, we seen 64,840 pounds of garbage removed. That was an effort for Mo Beautiful to reduce blight across the city. So I just wanted to say those few things and provide that update. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two comments. First, I'd like to echo Councilmember Ricky's comments on e-bikes. I represent the area that has Dry Creek, and I received several calls, usually over the weekends from the La Loma, White Cliff, and Lincoln Estate neighborhoods complaining about these e-bikes and the disregard they have for public safety. And the complaints are coming from these various walking clubs that we have in Modesto and jogging clubs. So echo that, and we should perhaps take a look at that particular issue and come up with some stricter regulations to protect the public. And also, Councilman Wright and I attended the first annual Police Investigators Association Modesto Confidential presentation at the State Theater last Friday. MPIA is a nonprofit organization committed to assisting victims of violent crimes, supporting law enforcement in solving cold cases and homicides, and providing vital training for investigative professionals. And basically, the presentation gave us the behind the scenes of what our detectives do in trying to solve these crimes and coming to the truth. And my hats go off to the Modesto Police Department and also the Stanislaus County District Attorney for providing this presentation, and hopefully we'll have more in the future. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. We literally attend dozens of events and activities in our community, and I'm grateful for this council that is so active in participating in such a variety of activities. Two, I would like to thank our Parks and Recreation Department for the Day of the Dead celebration at the McHenry Mansion. There was literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people that attended that event. It was vibrant, it was exciting, it was just really great and very much oriented to families and children, as well as the McHenry Mansion Foundation reception, where the space has been expanded that can be used for community events. It's absolutely beautiful, and it was great to participate in those two events. In addition, I want to note that for the first time ever in the state of California, an individual a dispatcher was given the award of First Responder of the Year, and it was at our SR 911 office right here in Modesto. Juana Carrasco was given that honor, and it was a joy to be there and participate in what I consider a historic time. Councilmember Wright was also in attendance with me there. I also wanted to recognize that our Rail Commission, San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission, Executive Director, who's absolutely brilliant, has retired. Her name is Stacy Mortensen. I went to Stockton yesterday to celebrate with her, and she will be missed. This is another commission that I participate in as an ex officio. We're working very diligently to bring rail to Modesto. So I thought that I would mention those things in addition to many others that we have attended. So at this time, does the city manager have any comments and reports? All right. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I am calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.